Good morning, people. Today we are going to be seeing, can we upgrade the Autoglym Polar Blaster for the mere price of £8? And if I'm being specific, it is actually only £7.99. But for £7.99 on Amazon, you can get this foam cannon orifice kit. So it comes with your mesh filters, your orifices, and these suction tubes. So let's swap them out on this and see if we can improve its performance. You can grab the Polar Blaster in loads of places, but you can also pick it up on Amazon for the price of £36.30p. And the snow foam I'm going to be using for this is the Simonized snow foam. You get loads of it. You can get the little flavors. But I've got 800ml of water, and I'm going to add 200ml of snow foam. It's got a really sweet smell on this. And I only can do this bit on camera, so I'm gonna quickly test this as it comes, you know, standard. And then when I add the orifices to it, I will then show you again using this, so this way you know I haven't swapped any of the snow foam. It's not gonna put too much in it just to waste on this bit, just to show you its performance with just a little bit. This is decent stuff, you'll see what I mean. For this video I'm going to be sudsing up the Leon, and the car is wet. That way I can then test them both fairly, because if one's dry and one isn't, it's a bit unfair. So yeah, it's connected up. Let's just crack on with it. So let me just bring that closer. Look, it's not a super dense foam up. It is quite runny. Look. So it does drip off. It's still pretty good. That's what I was saying. Look, 200 millilitres to 800 of water, and you do get a decent foam up. If this was an MJJC cannon, it would be a lot sudsier. I'm just saying that the snow foam it's decent stuff. There is better out there, but it is decent stuff. But look, it is running down. It's still solid. But as I said, the MJJC ones, the foam is thick when it goes on the car. This is more of a thin blanket. So let me rinse this off, and then we'll crack this open and we'll change some stuff in it. Just so you know that there is definitely no tomfoolery, I'll even pour that snow foam back in there, so you know I'm using the same stuff again. Because I don't want people to say that, you know, I've tweaked the dilution. I haven't. So to take this apart, look, we're just going to pull the straw off here. So that we'll just put that to the side, because we're going to change this. And then you see this pin in here? See that there? We're just going to push that out or knock it out, whatever. I'll show you all the tools you need. To be fair, this bit's more determined by how stuck it is. Look, if I grab a screwdriver, I can push that this way, and then even with my finger, I can push it back the other way. So all I'm going to do is push it out with a screwdriver, and then pull it out with then a pair of pliers. Once you do that, look, this actually pops off. And what is quite interesting, you see these? They don't, when you twist it, you know, to adjust the spread on this, these actually don't move. These are solid fixed. It's actually inside there is, I can't think of the word, maybe cycloned, is that the word? So it's not circular, it's more like that. So that when you twist it, it then pushes these together. It's actually quite clever. All right, let's take the rest of it apart. Look, you can use whatever you want to take it off. I'm just going to use, this is an adjustable spanner. And obviously righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Crack this off, because inside here is the orifice, so you definitely want to get this one off. And isn't that annoying when that happens, when it's too tight via finger, you know, but too light via spanner. So swivel this off. You can use a socket, as I said, and inside it is the orifice. We will be changing that. But if we're going to come to this side, now this bit is a little bit more complicated. You're probably going to need 2 spanners for this bit. To be fair, it's probably easier if I take this bit off first. So you're going to get your adjustable spanner. You see this? This is a nut, so you are just going to grab that. I have already semi-loosened this off camera. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So now I can now twist this bit. So now this bit comes off. There is a load of seals and O-rings on here as well. You shouldn't need to change them. You know, if you bust them, then obviously you will have to change them. But then that gets this off. Now this is the part where you need probably 2 spanners. You can try to use a socket. But this is the this isn't like the normal socket head, and a 24mm slides in there and a 23mm doesn't. So with 2 spanners, you want to hold one on here, and then hold the other one on here. Again, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I should have probably done this the other way around. I'm turning the adjustable spanner the wrong way, and then you can crack it off like that. Now, I did pre-crack all of these off camera, because you might need to hold it down, put it in a vise, put your foot on it or whatever. But this is the gist you are going for. So look, now, that's where I've just used. But inside here, there is a mesh filter. So when you get it apart, you're going to have this piece, one pin. Don't lose the pin because there isn't another one in the kit. And obviously that. So let me show you what's inside the kit. So inside the kit we have got 4 straws, as you can see. 2 of them are weighted with filters on them. I will show you why you want that. And then in here we have got, these are for cleaning, oh sorry, just off camera. These are for cleaning these out. So you know, if it was really thin or something like that, I mean the orifices are that size so that you can stick that in there and clean it out. So that is what this is for. This is your orifice. This is a 1.1 mil. Not all of them do say on there. I know it's quite difficult to see on camera. And then these are your mesh filters. Although these ones are supposed to be used like this. So it goes filter, padded bit, and then the other part of the filter. So it goes like that inside. Now the MJJCs are the best lances on the market. This is actually the most recent one. This is like the highest spec one, but the bottle isn't see-through. That's the reason I'm not showing you this. But I'll show you on this one because this bottle is see-through. Look, this straw has this silver weight on it, again also with a filter on it. And now why do we want that? Because the Autoglym one doesn't do that. Look, it sits on here and it doesn't have the filter on it or the weight on it. But look, when you turn your bottle, look, it goes to either side of the bottle. So then you can actually pick up all of your snow foam that's inside. Because if you did that with this one, I'm only showing you because it's a clear bottle, because it's not weighted, look, if you go left or right, the straw inside doesn't curve because it hasn't got a weight on it. So that is why you want to put one of these on. So that's going to go on here. So that is that's a nice easy change, which makes 100% sense. Now the orifice is inside here. See it in there? And you'll like these. These are nice and easy to take out because all you need is a flathead screwdriver. So stick your flathead screwdriver in there and untwist it. You know, just do that. Just a couple of seconds, you feel it unclick, and pop it upside down, and you can pull it out. And there you go. Now, Dr. Google says that this is a 1.25 mil orifice that is the standard size, which is already in there. But I mean, it doesn't. You know, so obviously I don't know how to measure that, but I can just about get this inside here, and it's got a little bit of movement. And then the one that I know is a 1.1 because it says it in big writing on it, does kind of feel the same. I mean, it's 0.1 mil, so obviously it's going to be quite hard to tell, you know, the difference. But anyway, so now what we're going to do, there's our 1.1 mil orifice. We're going to drop that inside here. And then again, righty tighty, lefty loosey. I can't remember if I said it loads of times, but people seem to forget. Now times you see someone tightening something up when they're trying to undo it. Look, tighten up. You haven't got to go like we try and tighten up as much as possible. There you go. So there's that one done. So now we can move the spare orifice over there. For the final bit. Now inside there, it looks all sudsy, doesn't it? Now because you're getting rid of this, you can use a hook or whatever, and you can just pull it out. But if you've got something thin, just on the other side, look, just push it through, and this will pop out, and you'll realise that that wasn't all suds. It is a giant mesh filter. So what we're going to do is swapping this one, which is just one solid lump of metal, for, as I said, something like this. So it is filter, padding, and then another filter, because you know, like that. And then all you do is just, I know it's all full of suds. All we're going to do is, well, take that screwdriver back out and just drop that in. Just make sure that it does go in straight, which I haven't done there. That's gone in wonky. So let me redo that. Trying to be smart, I was trying to drop them all in one go. It is a lot easier if you do it one by one. So put your first mesh filter in. Make sure you push it all the way down. Do not push down with something like this, you know, like something like that, because you're just going to puncture it. So push it down with something flatter, you know. Push it in, make sure it's seated, and then the padding then goes in. Push it down, make sure it's seated, and then finally the last bit as well. To be fair, that one does just pop in. If I grab a torch though, so now you can actually see inside it a lot nicer. And there we go, that is everything now changed. So all we can do is now do this in reverse, and we will put it all back together. And just to show you, those filters are the same width as well, just in case you thought that there was a bit of space around it. It is the same size, but yeah, considerably big old thick thing that. And something that will determine when you put this all back together is when you've got this all back in the cannon, you don't want it to be sideways, you know. Once it's back in, you want this to be straight, because obviously you don't want it to be diagonal, so that will determine whereabouts you tighten it. But we're just going to put it all back together. And see, like the seals on here, look, put it all back together. If it starts leaking, then you can change the seals, isn't it? It's not a big deal, but you should be okay. They might say good practice is to change it, you know, if you're taking it apart, you might as well change it. Instead, I'm using adjustable spanners. You can use whatever you want. You can use this spanners, sockets, whatever. I'm doing this because this way is easier. And then tighten it up. You don't want to absolutely gun it. There you go, that feels pretty nice. If it's leaking, then you need to tighten it up or change the seal, isn't it? So there's the first bit. We're going to put that now on here, like this. I could have sped this up. As I said, I will probably have to readjust this on camera so I can get the spread in the right position. But look, just grab it. See, like, so now it would come out flat. Not that it matters, but most people want to have it straight kind of thing. So you'd have to tighten it up in conjunction with that kind of thing. And then on the back, just put this on as well. This one's nice and easy. You can use like a deep socket on this one. And when you want to put this cone back on, I guess is the word, it does only go one way. So if you did it upside down, you wouldn't be able to push it on. Look, I can't push that down. So, but if you take it back off and then twist it, there you go, look, it then sits where you want, and now the spread adjusts, look. Closed and open, but that's what I mean. We're just gonna, I'll do this off camera just to try and tweak whereabouts I want this. Imagine it, that tiny little pin is what holds all that together. Might be something else to push that in a bit. There we go. Pushed in. Now look, this purple bit doesn't come out. So let me put the snow foam back in. And we'll see if it's any different. Again, all on camera, just so you definitely know there is no tomfoolery at foot. That's my new favourite word at the moment, because I don't hear it very often. So, alright, let's go back out to the Leon and see if we've made any difference. There you go, because I said out of fairness I would have the car wet for both tests. So let me just swap this back to the Autoglym nozzle. Oh, this is a V-Tough V5 pressure washer. You can get a discount on that if you do the link in the description below. I think it's Charlie 10. But yeah, nice pressure washer. Would recommend. So, I've now got this in. This is turned all the way up. The spread, I believe, is still the same as what it was because I didn't twist it, I don't think. Anyway, let's see how this goes. Immediately I can tell you that that is a lot thicker. Let me bring the camera closer. And it is a lot thicker off the car. And this isn't the best snow foam, you know, I'm just saying I was doing the same one so you could see what I meant. But the last one was a blanket. But look, if I now do this, got a slight drip on it, but it is definitely better than what it was, 100%. Check that out. Look, the MJJT Lances, I'll do a better job, but they are more money, you know. But that is a good foam up. I probably should have done this beforehand as well, but I haven't been able to get that kind of foam up from the Autoglym Lance before. So that is nice as well. It's there for under £45 as well, all in. I think that's pretty good. Let me look how thick that coming off the car. I probably should have done it at an angle, but look how thick that is. I'm going to keep going. I'll bring the camera back again. I'm going to keep going just to show you. Does it pull up all the solution at the bottom, even if I hold it at a slight angle? So they're starting to run out because you can see the foam is now stopped. Now it's coming out as water. Doing this all on camera, but I don't have to take the top off. I can just turn this. Look at that. Look at that. There is a teeny tiny little drip at the bottom. Look at that. Look, was it 4 drips or something? Yeah, so look, that is exactly what that is for. That is why, even if you're not going to change anything else, if you've got a lance that hasn't got a weight slash filter on the bottom, just change that, because this does help so much, and you don't end up wasting your stuff. Well, not wasting it, because you probably use it for elsewhere anyway. I'm just saying. So there you go, for £8 you can upgrade your Autoglym Polar Blaster. Now look, originally this is a decent lance anyway, and it is easily the most readily available lance in the country in good old Blighty. But just for that little price, it really changes it. You get a much better foam up, and honestly, just having the tube on its own is worth the £8, because that is a great little accessory. But yeah, I got this from Amazon. I will put the link in the description below. Look, I will be honest, this is the best lance on the market, and it isn't going to. It's not better than this. It's nowhere near better than this. And obviously, if you can't be asked to do any of this, then go out and get yourself a proper, very high quality lance, which is what this is. I have also got a discount code for this. So I will put all the link in the description below, but it's this long word, and you get yourself 10% off. And for the pressure washer I was using, because everyone always wants to know what I'm using, I was using a VTuff V5 pressure washer, which also has a discount code. So if you use Charlie10, you get yourself a little bit of money off, and you could save £20.83p. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.